Welcome, my friend. Welcome to a place where stories inspire your heart, grow your mind, and improve your English in a simple, beautiful way. Today, you will learn how a shy boy became a global leader, how kindness can become a superpower, how silent struggles shape strong dreams, how courage grows inside quiet people, how one decision can change millions of lives. If you love motivational stories, life lessons, and easy English storytelling, subscribe to this channel right now, because every story here is written to make you stronger, wiser, and braver. Now, take a deep breath. Let me tell you the inspiring story of Ratan Tata, not as a businessman, but as a human being who believed in hope. A quiet boy in a loud world. Many people think leaders are born loud, confident, and fearless. But Ratan Tata was not like that. He was a quiet boy. He was shy. He loved animals. He liked silence more than crowds. And sometimes, silence is where the strongest dreams grow. Ratan Tata was born in a famous family, but his childhood was not easy. His parents separated when he was very young. That moment changed everything. Imagine being a child and feeling lost. Imagine watching your world break quietly. Psychologists say children who face emotional pain early often develop deep empathy. That empathy later becomes greatness. Ratan Tata learned early that life is fragile. Instead of becoming angry, he became thoughtful. Instead of becoming loud, he became kind. Instead of becoming weak, he became strong inside. A boy who loved animals more than power. While other children dreamed of toys and fame, Ratan dreamed of caring for animals. He once said that animals helped him feel safe when humans could not. Dogs became his friends. Silence became his comfort. Dreams became his escape. People often think ambition starts with money, but real ambition starts with purpose. And his purpose was simple. I want to make life better for others. That small thought would later change millions of lives. A journey far from home. When Ratan grew older, he went to study abroad. New country, new culture, new challenges. He studied architecture because he loved building things. Not just buildings, but futures. But life tested him again.
His grandmother asked him to return to India. The Tata company needed him. He had a choice: stay comfortable abroad, or return to uncertainty at home. Most people choose comfort. Ratan Tata chose responsibility. That single decision shaped history. The first shock from dreamer to factory worker. When he joined Tata Group, people expected him to become a big boss immediately, but he refused. Instead, he worked on the factory floor. Yes, real work. He carried tools. He cleaned machines. He stood under the hot sun. People laughed at him. They whispered, "Why is the owner's grandson doing dirty work?" But Ratan knew something powerful. To lead people, you must first understand their pain. This experience taught him humility. Psychology says, leaders who experience hardship develop stronger emotional intelligence. Ratan Tata was not learning business. He was learning humanity. The years nobody talks about. Later, he became the chairman of Tata Group. But success did not come easily. In fact, many people doubted him. Senior leaders criticized him. Investors questioned him. Media underestimated him. They said, "He is too soft. He is not aggressive enough. He cannot lead this empire." Imagine hearing that every day. Most people would quit. But Ratan Tata believed in something deeper. Quiet strength lasts longer than loud power. He did not fight with words. He fought with vision. The hidden vision nobody saw. While others focused on profit, Ratan Tata asked different questions. Why can't every Indian family own a car? Why can't technology reach villages? Why can't business help society? He was not thinking like a businessman. He was thinking like a dreamer. Dreamers are dangerous, because dreamers change the world. The dream that changed everything. One day, Ratan Tata saw a family riding a scooter. Father driving, mother sitting sideways, child standing between them. It looked risky. It looked unsafe. That moment touched his heart. He thought, what if they had a safe, affordable car? That thought became a mission, not for money, but for dignity. This is how the idea of nano car was born. People laughed again. They said, impossible, too cheap, too risky. But Ratan Tata remembered his childhood. He remembered vulnerability, and he refused to give up. Psychological truth behind his courage. Scientists say, people who feel connected to others' pain develop unstoppable determination. Ratan Tata didn't chase success. He chased solutions. He didn't want applause. He wanted impact. That mindset made him unstoppable. The quiet philosophy that guided him. Ratan Tata believed in 3 simple principles. 1. Respect every person. 2. Serve before earning. 3. Dream bigger than fear. These principles sound simple, but they are powerful, because most people do the opposite. They chase money first. They ignore people. They fear big dreams. The lesson hidden in his journey. So what can you learn from this part of his story? Here are the golden lessons. Being quiet does not mean being weak. Pain can become purpose. Humility builds real leadership. Dreams grow strongest in silence. Success without kindness is empty. Your life does not need to be perfect to be powerful. Your beginning does not decide your ending. Your struggles may be preparing you for greatness. A question for you. Let me ask you something honestly. What dream is sleeping inside your heart right now? Maybe you feel shy. Maybe you feel small. Maybe you feel invisible. So did Ratan Tata. And yet, he changed the world. What happens next in part 2? In the next part, you will discover how Ratan Tata faced massive failure, the shocking moment that almost destroyed his dream, the emotional story behind Tata Nano, how critics tried to break him, the mindset that turned failure into legacy. This next part will inspire you deeply. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to this channel, because every story here will improve your English, strengthen your mindset, inspire your journey. Stay tuned, because the most powerful chapter of Ratan Tata's life is just beginning.
A quiet leader faces a loud storm. When Ratan Tata finally became the chairman of Tata Group, many people expected fireworks, big speeches, aggressive decisions, fast changes. But instead, they got something unusual. Silence. Not weakness. Not confusion, but calm. Ratan Tata did not rush. He observed first. Psychology tells us something powerful here. Leaders who observe before acting create deeper impact than those who act for attention. He knew one thing very clearly. Tata Group was respected, but it was fragmented. Too many companies, too many directions, too little unity. And unity would not come through force. It would come through trust. Breaking old habits is painful. Many Tata companies were operating independently. Some leaders were comfortable. Some resisted change. Some felt threatened. When Ratan tried to bring unity, he faced internal resistance. People smiled in meetings and opposed him outside. This was not an external enemy. This was harder. It was inside the system. And here is where Ratan Tata showed emotional intelligence. He did not insult anyone. He did not remove people angrily. He gave time. He listened. He waited. Sometimes leadership is not about speed. It is about emotional control. When failure hits publicly, then came a moment that tested his confidence deeply. Tata Group launched Tata Indica, India's first fully indigenous car. The expectations were massive, but the first version failed badly. People mocked it. Media criticized it. Competitors laughed. The pressure was unbearable. Imagine the pain. A man already doubted by many, now facing a public failure. But Ratan Tata didn't run. He didn't blame the team. He didn't cancel the project. He did something rare. He took responsibility. He said, "We will fix this." And they did. The improved Tata Indica became a success. Here's the quiet lesson. Failure doesn't define you. Your response to failure does. The inner psychology of calm. Many leaders panic under pressure. Ratan Tata did the opposite. He became calmer. Psychologists call this emotional regulation. The ability to stay stable when chaos surrounds you. He slept normally. He spoke politely. He made decisions slowly. This confused his critics. They expected anger. They got grace. And grace disarmed them. The dream of an Indian airline. Ratan Tata loved aviation. Long before business success, he loved flying. So when the opportunity came to revive Air India, he felt hope. But this dream came with heavy responsibility. The airline was already struggling. Losses were huge. Public pressure was intense. Still, Ratan Tata believed. He believed India deserved a world-class airline. The decision to acquire Air India was criticized heavily. People said it was emotional. People said it was foolish. But leadership is not about pleasing everyone. It's about doing what feels right, even when it's difficult. Global expansion, without losing values. Under Ratan Tata, the group expanded globally. Jaguar Land Rover, Chorus Steel, international markets. But he set one rule: no compromise on ethics. If a deal required dishonesty, it was rejected, even if it meant losing money. This made Tata Group unique. In a world obsessed with profit, they chose principles. And principles built long-term respect. Why people trusted him? Ratan Tata never used fear to lead. He used example. He arrived on time. He respected workers. He listened more than he spoke. When people felt safe, they performed better. Psychology confirms this. Trust-based leadership increases loyalty and innovation. That's why employees stayed. That's why they believed. Loneliness at the top. Here's a truth most people don't talk about. Leadership is lonely. Ratan Tata had wealth. He had respect. But personal loneliness remained. He never married. He once admitted that personal relationships were sacrificed for responsibility. This teaches a subtle lesson. Every success has a price. But Ratan Tata accepted his choices peacefully. No regret. No bitterness. Only purpose. What this part teaches you without teaching. If you listen carefully, this story whispers. Stay calm when others panic. Fix mistakes instead of hiding them. Lead with values, not ego. Accept criticism without losing dignity. Choose long-term respect over short-term praise. You don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to rush to win. Sometimes, slow and steady builds the strongest legacy. This story is unfolding slowly, just like Ratan Tata's leadership. In part 3, you'll discover the most painful criticism he ever faced, how he handled betrayal and doubt, why kindness became his quiet power. If this story makes you think differently, if it helps you learn English naturally, if it gives you calm motivation, subscribe to this channel. Because some stories don't shout, they stay with you forever. When the world turned against him, by the time Ratan Tata was fully in charge, he had already faced doubt, resistance, and failure. But nothing prepared him for what came next. Criticism became louder, pressure became heavier, and expectations became impossible. Every decision he made was watched. If profits fell, blame him. If a deal failed, blame him. If markets changed, blame him. This is something most people never understand. When you reach the top, mistakes become public, but success is taken for granted. Ratan Tata felt this deeply. Yet, he never reacted with anger. The psychology of emotional strength. Most people think strength means being aggressive, but psychology says something else. True strength is the ability to stay calm when emotions want to explode. Ratan Tata mastered this. He did not argue with the media. He did not attack critics. He did not defend himself loudly. Instead, he focused on work. This confused people. They expected drama. They got dignity. A decision that divided opinions. One of the most controversial moments of his leadership came with the Nano project. Ratan Tata wanted a car that ordinary families could afford. Not luxury, not status, safety, dignity, hope. But the project faced serious problems. Political pressure, land issues, public criticism. The factory had to be shifted. Losses increased. People mocked him. Dreamer, they said. Too emotional, they said. Business doesn't work like this, they said. But Ratan Tata never regretted the idea. Because for him, leadership was not only about profit, it was about intent. When failure becomes personal, the Nano did not succeed commercially. And this hurt him deeply. Not because of money, but because his dream was misunderstood. Imagine wanting to help people and being laughed at. This is one of the hardest emotional experiences. Psychology calls this empathic pain. When your good intentions are rejected, Ratan Tata felt it. But he did not become bitter. He accepted it quietly. That acceptance shows rare emotional maturity. Kindness that shocked the world. Here is a moment that truly defines Ratan Tata. During the 26/11 Mumbai attacks, Taj Hotel employees protected guests. Some lost their lives. After the tragedy, Ratan Tata personally visited families. He didn't send representatives. He went himself. He supported staff. He supported vendors. He supported even street workers affected by the attack. This was not publicity. Cameras were not invited. This was humanity. People realized something important. Ratan Tata didn't see employees as resources. He saw them as family. That is why loyalty followed him naturally. Respect earned beyond business. Global leaders respected him, not because he was rich, but because he was ethical. In meetings, he listened more than he spoke. He never humiliated anyone. He believed that power should make you gentler, not harsher. This made him different. In a competitive world, he chose compassion, and compassion became his strength. Handling betrayal with grace. Not everyone stayed loyal. Some people he trusted disappointed him. Some left at critical moments. Some questioned his leadership publicly. That hurts more than failure, because betrayal comes from inside. But Ratan Tata never attacked them. He believed, time reveals character better than arguments. And time did. Those who stayed true were remembered. Those who didn't were forgotten. Why he never chased popularity. Ratan Tata never cared about being liked. He cared about being right. Not right for today, right for the future. This is an important lesson hidden inside his story. Popularity is temporary. Values are permanent. That mindset allowed him to take unpopular decisions. And history proved him right. Loneliness returns again. Despite success, loneliness returned. He had no immediate family life. His work consumed him. Some nights were quiet. Some decisions were heavy. But instead of escaping loneliness, he accepted it. He believed responsibility required sacrifice. And he never complained. What this part whispers to you, if you read between the lines, this story tells you, don't let criticism change your character. Failure doesn't erase good intentions. Kindness is not weakness. Silence can be powerful. Leadership means carrying pain quietly. You don't need to win every battle. You need to protect your values. This journey is getting deeper. In part 4, you will discover his biggest global risks, why he stepped down despite success, how he defined legacy, not power. If this story makes you feel calm, if it improves your English naturally, if it helps you think differently, when success reached its peak. By this time, Ratan Tata had achieved what most people only dream of. The Tata Group had become global. Indian companies were respected worldwide. Big acquisitions changed how the world saw India. And yet, inside him, something was changing. While others were celebrating power, he was thinking about responsibility. This is a rare mindset. Most people ask, how long can I stay on top? Ratan Tata asked, how do I leave correctly? The psychology of letting go. Psychologists say something important. People don't fail because they can't rise. They fail because they can't step aside. Power becomes addictive. Titles become identity. Letting go feels like losing value. But Ratan Tata believed leadership was temporary. Values were permanent. That belief made him different. The quiet decision nobody expected. When the time came, he announced his retirement as chairman. No drama. No emotional speech. No attempt to stay longer. People were shocked. Why now? They asked. You are still strong, they said. But Ratan Tata knew something most people ignore. An organization must grow beyond one person. This decision showed maturity beyond ambition. Building leaders, not followers. During his leadership, he focused on building systems, not dependency. He encouraged young leaders. He allowed mistakes. He gave space to grow. Some decisions were questioned, but he never micromanaged. This is an important life lesson. If people cannot grow without you, you were never leading, you were controlling. After stepping down a new kind of life, retirement didn't mean silence. Ratan Tata became more active, but differently. He mentored startups. He invested in young ideas. He encouraged innovation, but he never chased attention. He sat in small rooms, listened to young founders, asked simple questions. This humility surprised many. Imagine a man who could enter any boardroom, choosing to sit with beginners. That is real confidence. Why young minds loved him. Young entrepreneurs trusted him. Why? Because he never talked down to them. He listened. He respected effort. He understood failure. This made him relatable. And this teaches us something powerful. Respect is earned by humility, not position. The side of him few people know. Ratan Tata has deep love for animals, especially dogs. He ensured stray dogs were allowed in Tata offices. He believed compassion should be lived, not spoken. This reveals his inner philosophy. How you treat the weakest reflects who you are. This kindness wasn't for branding. It was personal. Why he never married fame. He lived a simple life. No luxury obsession. No show-off lifestyle. Even after enormous success, he chose simplicity. Psychology explains this. People who find purpose beyond themselves don't need external validation. Ratan Tata already knew who he was. Moments of regret he never hid. He once admitted something rare. I had moments when I wished I had a family life. This honesty touched many hearts. Success demands trade-offs, and he never pretended otherwise. This makes his story real, not perfect. Legacy is what remains when you leave. He never wanted statues. He wanted systems. He never wanted praise. He wanted principles to survive. Today, his legacy is not just companies. It is ethical leadership, human-centered business, quiet strength, long-term thinking. That is rare. What this part teaches you, if you read deeply, this part tells you, power is temporary, humility is permanent, letting go is strength, leadership is service, legacy is built silently. You don't need to hold everything. Sometimes, stepping back allows others to rise. When the noise finally became silence, after stepping away from power, life became quieter for Ratan Tata. No daily board meetings, no pressure-filled decisions, no constant expectations. And yet, his influence became stronger than ever. Because sometimes, when the noise ends, the truth becomes clear. This phase of his life was not about building companies. It was about understanding life itself. What Ratan Tata believed about success. People often asked him one question: what is success? His answer was never dramatic. He believed success was not money, not position, not fame. Success, for him, meant going to bed without regret. That simple idea explains his entire life. He did not chase shortcuts. He did not compromise values. He did not hurt people to move ahead. That is why his sleep was peaceful. The quiet philosophy he lived by. Ratan Tata never wrote motivational books, but his life itself became one. His philosophy was simple. Do your work sincerely. Treat people with respect. Accept failure without bitterness. Stay curious. Stay kind. He believed arrogance blocks learning, and learning must never stop. Even in his later years, he listened more than he spoke. That curiosity kept him young. Why his words felt honest. When Ratan Tata spoke, people listened carefully. Because his words were not polished for applause. They were shaped by experience. He spoke about fear, about doubt, about loneliness, about regret. Most leaders hide these things. He acknowledged them. This honesty created trust. And trust is more powerful than inspiration. His relationship with loneliness. Loneliness never fully left him. He accepted that. He once said he missed having a family. That admission revealed something important. You can have everything and still feel something missing. But instead of being bitter, he transformed loneliness into contribution. He gave time. He gave guidance. He gave compassion. Pain became purpose. Why people trusted him instinctively. Trust cannot be demanded. It is felt. People trusted Ratan Tata because he kept promises. He admitted mistakes. He protected people during crisis. He stayed calm during chaos. Trust grows when actions remain consistent. That consistency defined him. Kindness as a daily habit. One of the most touching things about Ratan Tata was his love for animals. He ensured injured dogs were treated. He spoke against cruelty. He supported shelters. This was not strategy. It was instinct. He believed, if success makes you less kind, then success has failed you. This belief guided his behavior. A powerful psychological truth from his life. Psychology teaches us. People who focus only on achievement feel empty after reaching goals. But people who focus on meaning feel fulfilled, even during struggle. Ratan Tata chose meaning. That is why he aged with grace, not restlessness.